think it is? I mean, here we are in this lovely sunshine. Is it a rebellion against that, or what do you think it is?
I don't know. Maybe the sun boils our brains. I don't know. No, I don't know, actually. I think just because, like, when we were young, we started playing heavy music because we were into it, you know, like Celtic Frost and Slayer. And then next thing you know, we just started getting popular, you know, and then other bands started doing, like, Morbid Angel and Death, and, well, Death was already around, and then just everybody wants to do it around here now because we all got albums out and toured Europe. I think that's what's really made it go.
You know, it's hard for you guys to get maybe a perspective because you're here right in the middle of it, but from the outside, there's so many people who like metal and who just don't understand death metal at all. Like, they don't see it.
Yeah. I think it has something to do with the vocals. You know, people can't understand it because they'll get into the music, you know, like a lot of people I know, yeah, you're jamming, but then the vocals kick in and they freak. And what it is, because they just don't really listen to it that much. You know, if they sat there and tried to figure out what JT's saying, our singer John, you know, maybe they'd enjoy it more, you know what I mean? It's just they're not exposed to it enough.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is exposure. I think it's just going to take time and more publicity on our album and albums like ours for kids that aren't into it and are just into, like, maybe the Metallica or something, that they need to open their mind out and, you know, and listen to it and understand it instead of just saying, well, I'm not really into it the first time I listen to it and forget about it.
Right. But some people also say, like, why is it so gross?
Right. Well, it's to the extreme, you know. It's heavy music, it's heavy guitar and heavy production. It's got to be gross to a point, you know, to relate.
You know? Yeah, we like gore films too, you know, a little bit. So when I was younger, at least, I used to really watch them a lot. So that brings out the gore and, I guess, or the grossness.
Yeah, people think you're, like, really violent. Are you guys normal guys? Like, what's normal in Florida anyway?
We're not violent at all. Actually, we're just the opposite. We're pretty mellow. I mean, Florida's basically just, you know, we're doing nothing most of the time, just being burned out, you know, and relaxing and doing absolutely nothing.
Playing with guns.
Yeah, playing with guns.
We bought him a gun, so he's freaking out.
Wow, this gun thing here is so popular.
No, it's just, this is for protection, you know.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, and nowadays you can't have a bat and be safe in your house. Like, if you're asleep and somebody wakes up, you know, comes in your house, you better have a gun or you're going to get shot.
Yeah, it's been real bad in Tampa. Just, I mean, all of Florida, and I know all the United States, but you hear of a lot of home invasions and a lot of carjackings now. A lot more than just a year ago, and, you know, I just purchased me a Ruger 45 caliber.
Do you ever see yourself killing somebody?
I will kill someone if they walk in my house when they ain't supposed to be. But no, I hope I don't ever have to, but it's a fact that on the news every night you hear of home invasions and people actually killing the person before they rob the house so they have time to rob it. You know, they're out for, they're serious about it. It's not like they're going to try and sneak in and run if you catch them, because they're out to...
So you think this violence that permeates your world doesn't in any way, like, show in your music? I mean, forget the sunshine, this is probably the reason why this scene developed here too.
Probably a definite influence, maybe, even if we don't realize it now. It's an influence on how we probably write our new songs, because it is a violent world that we're living in, and especially here in Tampa in the past maybe year, it's been getting really bad.
The violent thing, I think, comes out of our music, like, because we're not really violent ourselves, you know, as individuals, but like when we're jamming, writing tunes, it comes out of us, like, in our music, you know, unless especially on stage, you know, release a lot of aggression and stuff. And I think when we write music, it comes out too, like, you can feel it, you know, like when we're going off. It's cool.
Certainly, I think that's what the kids that listen to it really get off on, is just like the release of aggression.
Yeah, they're mad inside because of the world problems, and they don't really think about it. Maybe even house problems at home or in the world. You know, they're reading the newspaper, seeing the news, you know, and they're just holding it inside, and then they hear our music and they release it. You know, like at our shows, they go off, and then nobody gets killed, you know, and everybody's happy when they leave, you know, so it's really cool. It's kind of positive in a way.
Like, a lot of people say that we sometimes make kids hurt themselves or want to commit suicide or do something wrong listening to our music or come seeing our show, but I think it's the absolute opposite. I think that kids that have a messed up life, maybe at home or at school or at work, that can go and release energy at one of our shows is a lot more or a lot less tense when they leave our show compared to if they just had to deal with it at home every day, and you know, I think it's like psychological therapy.
So tell us about this new project we've heard about called Meat Hook Seed. What's it all about?
Craziness. It's a crazy band. It's Mitch Harris from Napalm Death, Donald Tardy from Obituary and myself. It's just a project that Mitch, he wrote all the music and stuff, and he asked us to be instruments on the album, and I do vocals, and Donald plays drums, and Mitch does all the guitars, and it's pretty crazy.
We're trying to make a project band. Yeah, we're going to make a project band, Trevor and myself. It's going to be acid rock, like real mellow music. It's going to be called Gel.
Okay, thanks a lot for being on the Power 30, and let's play one of yours right now, The End Complete. Cool with you?
Yeah, very good.
All right. The End Complete, Obituary on the Power 30.